Ho, ho, ho! Have you all been good little boys and girls this year? I know when you've been sleeping. I know when you're awake. I know where you work and what car you drive. Huh? Oh, who are you? Who are you and why are you ruining my intro? Well, I was just going to ask what everyone wanted for Christmas and then get their addresses so that I could deliver the gifts personally. Yeah, tell your story walking. Beat it, Santa. Oh, well, I know someone who's going on the naughty list. Sorry about that, folks. In case you couldn't tell, that wasn't the real Santa. But don't be too disappointed, because I've met the real Santa. And in fact, he's our guest today on this special Christmas edition of the Offstage Acting Podcast. That's right, Father Christmas, jolly old Saint Nick, Kris Kringle, and a few hundred other names. Whatever you call him, just don't call him late for dinner, huh? Right? Because he's fat. Boys and girls, meet Stephen Wickham, the UK's one and only real Santa. With a beard so authentic, it's earned its own fan club, with Jay as the president. Stephen doesn't just play Santa, he is Santa, minus the reindeer. Insurance premiums just keep going up. When he's not donning the red suit and cap and handing out presents, Stephen is a versatile actor whose career has taken him everywhere on stage and screen. He's got the stories to prove it, some heartwarming, some hilarious, and a few that involve tinsel in a way that I'm just not comfortable repeating here now. So join us as we go behind the scenes, deep into Stephen's workshop, to uncover the magic, the mischief, the joy that he brings to all the children of the world, and just how one man manages to make a living playing Father Christmas when all he ever gets paid in is milk and cookies. Happy holidays, everyone! Let's start the show. All right, Offstage Acting Podcast, wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
Hello.
Ho, 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 everybody.
Ho. Toddy. Wow, he is
What do you think?
Out.
It doesn't get any more festive than this.
Wow, deck the halls with Todd's.
Deck the halls with Offstage Acting. Thank you.
Wow.
Yule tidings.
Yuletide.
And blessings to all.
It's the sunglasses that are doing it to me.
The sunglasses
Wow.
work. I have. I decided not to do the nose.
You didn't. You also have.
I have the nose and I have the reindeer. So if I do the reindeer antlers, the nose, the elf hat, the glasses, then I'm and then I've got the jumper.
Oh, he takes. Oh,
which is the Santa jumper.
Wow.
And that's the full package, everybody. That's the Christmas.
Oh, wow.
And that's how you know. Tis the season. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm doing just fine.
I'm gonna
Wow,
take some of this off.
I look like compared to Todd, if any of you aren't watching, I look like the poor orphan boy down the street in my little wool.
Yeah.
It's a hand knit wool sweater from Iceland. My friend's mom knit it.
Oh, okay.
And it's really nice. It has like a story and it's really like legitimate, but it's less colorful.
You
It's
do
like
look a bit like
off-brown.
Oliver Twist. Like,
yeah.
please, sir, can I have
Please,
some
can
more?
I have some more? Yeah, I
More?
do. Yeah. Like Bob Cratchit, Oliver Twist. Yeah.
Taking
Homely.
the elf hat off.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard something. What's there on the chimney?
Oh.
So
Wow,
Christmas
how
time
are
is upon
you?
us. I'm good. I'm getting into the holiday spirit, as you can tell.
Yeah,
I'll leave the
are.
sunglasses on for a while because they are boss.
Yeah, they're banging.
These are banging. So
I'm not over it.
there's a now, audiences, you got to watch this on YouTube. If you haven't got these glasses yet, you need to go out and find them.
Yeah, they're
How would you
pretty-
describe them, Jay?
I would describe them like a craftsman's, like a craft artsy delight, a Christmas tree delight.
Christacular.
Sparkly and green and
Yeah.
ornamental. They're
And
ornamental.
They're like little Christmas tree glasses. Why am I wearing all this crap?
That's such a good question. Please.
Because
answer.
it's Christmas. Welcome to our Christmas episode, and boy, do we have a special episode in store for you.
Woo.
And I say that a lot, but this time it really is true. So, big question for you, Jay.
Yeah,
Have you been a good boy this year?
I,
Have you been naughty?
yes.
Naughty or
No,
nice?
I've not been naughty. I've been a good boy. Been a good lad. Been a good
Yeah?
boy.
Well,
For
you know
sure.
what? We can find out. We can find out. Because
Uh-huh.
guess who I have in the studio with me today?
Oh my gosh. He's beaming everyone.
It's not that often I get to tell everybody that Santa Claus is coming to my house.
You brought Santa on the podcast.
To the Offstage Acting Podcast. He knows when you've been. All right, I won't go into the whole thing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's exciting. We have Santa here. His name's
Amazing.
Stephen Wickham. He is an actor.
Not Chris Kringle?
Well, he goes by many monikers, as you know.
Of course.
You can call him Nick. You can call him Santy. Mr. Claus, if you're feeling more formal. We're going to find all about what's going on there in the North Pole.
Okay.
From Steve. Steve is an actor, obviously, who has kind of cornered the market in the last, well, we'll find out. I think probably the last 10, 15 years, something like that, at playing Santa. And I mean, he plays Santa.
Wow.
Everywhere. You've seen him. Anything that you've seen, especially here in the UK, with Santa in it,
This guy's.
it's Steve. He is the Santa. In fact, I think that's his website, therealsanta.co.uk.
The real Santa.
The real Santa is available for children's birthday parties. Well, Christmas parties, rather. Would you like to see a couple clips with the real Santa? Here's some examples of some of the stuff. It's the kind of work that the
real Santa does.
The real Santa gets. Here we go. Here's a little commercial. Start with this.
I'd like to report a crime, please. My identity has been stolen.
Yeah, of course it has. You're everywhere.
No, I mean my actual identity has been stolen.
Oh, yeah? How did that happen then?
Well, it was probably when... Now then, a bit of internet shopping. Ooh, now that is cheap.
Santa's
Deposit
made a mistake.
needed. I guess that's normal.
He's gone
Goodwill to
online.
all men and that.
He's supposed to be making his own toy.
It's very hard to tell if somebody is naughty or nice online, you see.
Identity theft.
Identity theft, Santa Claus. It's very hard. Santa's got all kinds of problems. Here's another one.
Okay, next thing. Have you got fireplaces?
We have radiators, Mr. Santa.
Well, I can't squeeze through one of those. No fireplace. No Santa. Are you going to tell little Lionel all he's getting is a complimentary shower cap?
No need, Mr. Santa. Leave it with us. Victorian fireplace.
Brilliantly. Here's another one. Let's see. I don't know. I grabbed a few of these off the. There we go. It's a little older.
Dear Santa, we have all been really good. So this Christmas my little brother would love a Furby. The green one, please. Dad would love a Samsung Tab 3.
And then there's the Click and Collect movie, which I don't know if you've seen that. It's a fun little movie. Steve Merchant.
Oh, okay.
Asim Chaudhry. If I can get that off there.
Well, watching these different Santa things, I'm realizing Santa really changes his look, his hair, the beard. Sometimes he has curly hair. He gets restyled.
Yeah. He's with the times. It's not just the one look.
The one look, yeah.
Here he's
really
just like
realized that.
playing a average Joe, but he's got that little twinkle in his eye. And you swear, oh my God, that must have been Santa. Oh my God. And it's a fun little Christmas movie. Isn't that exciting, Jay?
Yes.
Would you like
Yes,
to
it
meet
is.
Santa in person?
Please. Yes,
Would you be
please.
keen?
I would.
All right. Here he is, Stephen Wickham, a.k.a. St. Nicholas. Welcome to the program, Stephen. He's doing his thing from, what is that from? Home Alone.
Hello.
Hello.
First of all, Stephen, how are things in the North Pole?
Cold.
Yeah.
As we film this today, we woke up to snow.
Right.
See?
Exactly.
So I thought that was very
Certainly
apt.
did. It was apt, yes.
Yep, quite right.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. We know you have a lot of toys to make and deliveries and things going on. Must be a busy time of year for you.
Well, thankfully, for someone who, should I say, looks like Santa and sounds like Santa, hello, it's a really good, busy time of year.
Yeah. It's the busy time of year for you,
It
isn't
is.
it? Yeah.
It is.
That's why I wanted to see if I could get you in the studio
Yeah.
before.
Clips are great.
The clips are great, aren't they? Yeah.
Really good.
You can ditch that Santa Claus garb anytime you want, Stephen.
Okay,
It's time to get used to it.
Yeah, it's yeah. I can, and now, and tonight, Matthew, I'd like to be me.
Yeah, that's perfect. Santa's struggling with the headphones. There he goes.
There we are.
There's the real Steve Wickham.
Fantastic. Hello, boys.
Hello, how you doing, mate?
Hello.
So talk us through a little bit. It's fascinating for me. First of all, I was truly excited because you look the part, and anyone that
Seriously.
can't see you right now is wondering,
Wow.
why are they so? But there's no question. And you should have seen him, Jay, when he rocked up in his. I think he's driving a Vauxhall, and he kind of rolled up into my driveway, and he's big. He's a big man,
Yep.
big white beard. He's got the red jumper.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, Santa Claus is literally driving up to my house right now. It was great.
Wow. It's too bad your kids. Did your kids see it? Probably not.
No. I told him though. I told him all about it, and I made him all jealous. Like, no, Santa Claus is seriously coming to my house. We'll take some pictures later. But walk us through the journey. You're obviously an actor who has, at some point in his life, transformed into like this niche, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been in this business for 42 years.
Right.
Wow.
Yes, and it was only in the year 2013 where I was actually finally cast as Santa.
Right.
And that was in a show for the BBC called Mrs. Brown's Boys,
Oh yes.
where I played Santa. Had a little scene with him and Mrs. Brown and his grandson, and it was lovely. And because the guy who plays his grandson actually is his grandson
Right.
in the show,
Right.
I overheard him saying to his mum, who's also in the show, I think he is the real Santa. I went, oh, that's nice. So that's why I called my website The Real Santa.
Right.
And that made me think, perhaps there's more to be made of this.
Yeah.
Very smart.
I mean, that was obviously maybe just a casting brief that came across. And,
Well, it was a casting brief. They looked someone to play Santa.
right. And you had the white beard, or you had to.
And I had
Paste
the
that
white
on.
beard. No, it's always mine.
Right.
This is real.
Well, 10 years ago, though.
No. That was
You had the look,
Yeah,
so okay.
Absolutely.
But you weren't aiming to play Santa at that point, or
No,
thinking,
not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Huh.
It was all sorts of other parts, but it
Yeah.
just never, I don't know, something didn't really click up here. You should go in this direction.
Right.
And that's actually what started it. So that year I started the website off. I then got that job, which you showed a clip of, the Little Woods commercial. That was with the big beard. That was all stuck on.
Yeah.
That came next. And it snowballed from there.
Wow. Snowball.
Snowball. You see, like that.
He can't help
I
himself.
can't help it.
Okay, so where did Steve get his start? Where are you from originally?
Okay, well, was born in Harrow in London.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
And I suppose my start was at college doing drama.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of actors back then, if you wanted to go into the business, you had to get an equity card
Correct. Yeah.
and work so many weeks' work to prove that you were getting work as an actor,
Yeah.
which I did with a theatre and education company. I don't know whether those exist anymore, but going around schools taking
Yeah.
educational pieces to classrooms and schools.
Yeah.
Did that for 2 years, and straight out of that got an agent. Straight out of that got my first professional tour, which was Joseph
And the amazing Technicolor
and
Dreamcoat.
the amazing Technicolor
Wow.
Dreamcoat.
You played
Yes,
Joseph?
I played the baker and one of the brothers,
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, okay.
and that was Bill Kenwright's big tour, which is still going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
50 years on. Well, 40 years on.
How many years were you doing that one?
I did that for 2 years.
Okay. Toured around
the
States
country.
And the country.
And I don't know if any of your listeners, hello listeners, knew of or knew Bill Kenwright, the producer. He was a canny man and made sure that every week Joseph did 2 shows a day.
Right.
So you'd go somewhere on the Sunday, Monday night, and the rest of the week 2 shows a day.
Right.
So you were exhausted,
Yeah.
but you learnt your craft.
Yeah. Yeah.
You learnt the art of
And he got
reaching the back of the Liverpool Empire.
paid. Yeah. Yeah. Those
And
were
also performing to, Theatre Hall in Lincoln, which is tiny. So, it was a really good grounding.
up and down the country.
Up and down the country.
Yeah. Nonstop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grafting.
Exactly.
Proper actor work.
Sunday driving, the rest of the week work.
Right. Everybody crammed into a little minibus or whatever.
Oh, no, we had to make our own way.
You had to go on a train and whatnot.
I can just picture it now. One week we went from Canterbury up to Inverness on the Sunday.
Oh, that's way up north.
In one
It's-
day.
In one day,
Jeez, it's like a
Long.
12-hour journey. Yeah.
It was a tough call, but it was a great job, and I loved it. I'm still friends with some of the people in it
I mean,
at my time.
yeah. Was that something that you thought you always wanted to be doing, though, was acting?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
That was like your
That's it.
track.
That was it.
When did you kind of start that as a kid? In Harrow?
I don't know. There was a school nativity.
Right, of course. Everybody could. You played. I played
where
Teddy Bear number 2.
where
in
I
mine.
where I played the innkeeper because that's all they could find for me, and I got laughs, and I thought, oh,
Right.
that's nice.
That's a good sign.
When did you start getting to be a big? Because you're quite tall. How tall
Yes.
are you?
6'2".
6'2". Okay.
Oh.
So when that were you? Did you shoot up as a young man, or were you a late bloomer like
yeah,
myself?
yeah,
Yeah.
tall.
So now you have to be kind of put into parts for big guys.
So you get put into parts as, I don't know, bikers and heavies and
Right.
angry people.
Right. Yeah. Bouncers.
Because
and
at the
whatever.
time my beard was black,
Yeah.
and therefore I looked more sinister
Yes.
and played more kind of angry parts.
You always had the beard.
Always had the beard.
All right.
I only took it off once for one show when they insisted, but okay. But yes, it was always been there, and that was it. That was me for the rest of. That was it, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Had your parents saying, "Oh, don't you think you want to do something else?" No,
No, this is all I want to do.
no, and they understood. 'Cause my father, my late father, bless him, worked in the film industry anyway.
Oh, did he?
He worked in films in the props and
Right.
art department, set dressing, that sort of thing. So,
Oh, so you had some exposure. as a
So
kid.
I had exposure, and he'd bring home little bits of props and things and
Yeah.
autographs of famous people and
Oh, cool.
that he'd worked with. He'd done Bond films and
You go backstage
Indiana
and things.
Jones.
Yeah.
No, we never did that.
Oh, no?
no.
Oh.
And Star Wars and all sorts of things.
Wow. You worked on cool
I did see a
projects.
picture of you somewhere with Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah, that was at a signing event.
Was it? Yeah. Okay.
They asked if I'd come and sell my photographs for things I've done,
Yeah.
a lot of the cult things, and would you also do a session as Santa for photographs? Oh well, why not? And Darth happened to want a photograph, so you can't say no to Darth Vader.
No.
No. Nobody does. Not even Santa.
No.
So okay. So you're treading the boards.
Yes.
Number of years. You're earning your way.
Yes.
Grafting and
What is
when does-
grafting?
working hard. Working
Oh,
hard,
okay.
yeah. Bit of graft, yeah.
Bit of graft.
We like a bit of graft, don't we? At what point do you you said you got an agent kind of right away. At what point did you get into like starting to do the telly and things?
Straight away, little jobs.
Yeah. I see you've done a bit of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I mean, little jobs. This is like the early 80s we're talking
Yeah,
about.
for sure. Yeah.
And so, I mean, my first jobs were registering with an extra agency and just becoming a supporting artist, really.
Yeah.
But if I hadn't have done that, then I wouldn't have been in Doctor Who
Right.
twice.
Yeah, I see that.
And that was one of the greatest joys of my life, to be able to go and flick a switch on the TARDIS.
Oh,
that's
nice. I was killed by a Zygon.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry
turned
to hear
into a
that.
hairball. I know. So were my fans, by the way, because they loved Hitchley and they want him back
But then you
Write
see,
the
I've
BBC.
got the honour of having.
twice.
Sorry, I'm just going down Doctor Who routes
Sure,
for a
for
moment.
sure.
Love it.
We've got time, haven't we?
Absolutely.
The honour of having appeared in the best story ranked by fans
Really?
ever,
Really?
which is called The Caves of Androzani, Peter Davison's last story, and it's a classic. It's stunning. And then they got me
Wow.
back the following a couple of weeks later to be a giant slug in Colin Baker's first story, which is
Slug.
rated by everyone as the worst story ever
No.
made.
What an
Was it?
honor. That's incredible.
So
So you played the giant slug, the gastropod.
the gastropod, yeah.
Yeah. And then you played, which I think, by the way, didn't Ricky Gervais made fun of that on the show Extras.
Oh, I don't know.
There was like, yeah, and then they offer him a role on Doctor Who, and he's like, no, I don't. And then he's kind of desperate, so he takes it, and he's playing a giant slug.
Well,
Must have been
Yeah.
based on your good work. in that.
encased in a rubber coated sleeping bag.
Yeah,
Yes, with
yeah.
arms.
With arms and gook all over you.
Yeah.
Gunk.
It was
Wow.
it was KY.
Was it?
Yeah, squirted all over the sores on the back of my costume.
Yeah. Did you bring that from home, or did they provide it?
They provided it.
I see you've done The Bill, you've done
Oh,
EastEnders, you've done all the
Right,
Casualty.
okay. But you see, for actors, back then in the
Yeah.
80s, 90s,
There's sort of a trajectory, isn't there?
there was there was a basic background of television programs which used actors a lot.
Yeah.
So you could go on the bill half a dozen times,
Right.
as long as you left a gap of 2 years between them.
Right.
London's Burning.
Different characters
Yeah,
each time,
Heartbeat. All these big shows.
Casualty. And
Right.
EastEnders.
Used actors over and over.
Yeah.
And
they don't do that
you
anymore.
could build up a career.
Yeah. They used to do that in the States too. You can find it, or watch old episodes of Rockford Files or
Sure.
the A-Team or different
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of those kind of shows.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, wait, that guy was just like
Yeah.
2 seasons ago. He played
Yeah.
a mobster. Yeah. So there was room for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm a big fan of Columbo.
yeah.
And if you watch old Columbo, you can see the same faces half a dozen
Yes,
times.
that's right. Yeah, they always Agatha Christie. The
Yeah,
fancy
you
murder
know.
she wrote.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
kind of things.
yeah,
They always
exactly.
keep coming back.
Like a company of actors. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
But thankfully, I moved out of.
be careful with the mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry. No, that's right. Yeah.
It.
You moved out.
I moved out. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say then. Yes, from being an extra early on.
Yeah.
So
You started getting speaking roles.
yeah, moved on, and then
Was that because of your look, you think?
yeah,
To a large degree, because if they
yeah.
this is good advice for young actors, by the way. I know that being an extra or background gets a bad rap sometimes. But
It sort of did back then. They used to say that if you became an extra, you'd stay an extra.
right,
That was kind of the thing at the BBC at the time. If you were on their list of extras, then
Yeah.
you didn't progress.
yeah.
But
If you can say a line and you have a specific look, it happens regularly.
Yeah.
They go.
Yeah.
Who they're going to grab.
yeah,
They need somebody. Can anybody, ride a motorcycle? They realize, the guy that's supposed to ride it didn't turn up or whatever. There's that story of the guy in Friends that was he's the barista in the cafe at
Okay.
Friends, right? And he was an extra, and he showed up and then at some point they realized they're in a cafe. And they go, can anybody work the coffee machine? We realize we got no, and he's Gunther, he raises his
Gunther,
hand.
yeah.
And he goes, I can work the coffee machine. And next thing you know, boom,
Yeah.
he's like a fan favorite
yeah.
every season. So there's no real harm in doing. I did it back in the day when I was a young guy.
Yeah.
Just to get on the film sets, get a feel for it and stuff.
To get get a feel for it, to know what a set is like,
Yeah.
how to behave, what to do, etiquette, all those sort of
Yes,
things.
Yes, very
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
You need to learn early on, and if it means you do a few walk-on parts, then do it.
Yeah. Well, they'll throw a line out at you here and there too, and they say, yeah. And I just imagine you're a big guy with a big black beard, and all of a sudden they go, put him up front.
Yeah.
And we need somebody to push somebody around or give a line. Now, were you doing more comedy? Did you prefer comedy, or were you doing drama?
It's all sorts, really. There's no...
What's your preference?
Don't have a preference.
Oh.
I love making people laugh, and I love the oomph of being in a drama, you know.
Right.
So one year, for example, I did a drama called Chandler and Co. for the BBC. I was playing a husband who'd had his wife followed by a private detective, and she was having an affair. So it was all very, you know, something to get your teeth
Tense.
into.
Yeah, that's nice.
Tense.
Yeah, which was nice. And then there can be something, you know, silly like, you know, doing an episode of a sitcom, you know.
Yeah.
In front of an audience and getting laughs. And so it's a completely different genre, you know.
Yeah.
And you mentioned your father how did he get involved in the theater, or do you know the background of that kind
I
of?
don't really know. It was just in films. He worked. It was
film?
going for a job at the film studios and got it, and there he are and stayed in it for years.
Was he just a carpenter and decided to build
No,
props,
he was
or?
just a set dressing props.
Props guy,
So,
yeah.
you know, art department, they call it now.
Do you think that was some kind of influence on you?
Not really. No, I
Was
don't
there
think
any?
so.
No other members of your family?
No, although he was proud of working on Star Wars.
Yeah.
He at one point got bullied by George Lucas to put on a costume and go and fill out a scene.
Right, there you go.
Oh.
So
Stormtrooper?
No, the cantina scene.
Oh.
Nice.
So he's there in the cantina scene, standing behind Alec Guinness.
Oh, right.
In the scene where someone gets his arm cut off.
Yeah. Was he kind of more human looking? Or
Yeah,
did he
he
have
was
a rubber-
human looking.
the
No,
human
he was a human farmer, humanoid farmer.
Yeah.
And so
There you go.
his last 20 years were spent going to conventions and
Right.
signings and selling his photograph.
Yeah.
Just from that.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he was the most unassuming, lovely man.
But he had been in part of the Star Wars universe, as it
You
were.
know, his character ended up having a name,
Really?
trading cards.
Did
I
he?
mean, it's
Oh, wow.
ridiculous.
Excellent. Oh, I got to look that up.
I know.
Find that. What's his first name?
His name's Ted Weston.
Ted Weston. All right.
He always played Merc Sundet in A New Hope.
Oh, wow.
So he was so proud of that.
Yeah, I would be. I can understand why.
And then he tells, I'm sorry, I'm talking about him now.
That's
But he
all right.
tells tales of being ordered to carry a bag at the studios and go and empty the bag over there. And the bag was wriggling because it was all of the snakes to go down the pit in Indiana Jones.
Oh, right.
And they didn't tell him
Yeah.
what was in the bag. They're
No.
just like, oh, could you put the bag over there?
No.
That's funny.
You know,
Oh
Think-
my gosh.
yeah. He became best mates with Elliot Gould.
Right.
They worked on a movie called The Lady Vanishes with Angela Lansbury and Elliot Gould. And because Elliot was a little bit known for not being on set a lot of the time, the director told him to play chess with Elliot Gould and keep him around.
Oh my god.
So every day they'd play chess. And Dad didn't, he knew how to play it, but he wasn't very good. Elliot won every day. But then the rest of the cast, like Angela Lansbury and Arthur Lowe from Dad's Army, they'd come round and start helping Dad out, trying to get him to beat Elliot Gould.
Oh, that's fun.
They stayed in touch. They wrote letters over the years.
Here we're looking
He
at
had a
him right
lovely
now.
career, bless
There's
him.
there's your father.
Yeah.
If you can see him there. There you see.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you remember.
That's him. Look, there we are,
There he
looking
is.
over the back.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fun. That's great. Oh, now we know what to look out for.
Yeah.
Those are funny. Those experiences. I'm sure you get the same thing I do, being part of the Hooniverse. I still get autograph requests to
Yeah.
this day, and,
Yeah.
and I've gone to a couple little conventions. Have you done the conventions?
Yeah, many.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, I was a Doctor Who fan from a very young age.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can remember watching Cybermen coming up through the drains in 1967.
Right.
And I ended up becoming part of the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. I became their coordinator at one point.
Okay.
And on-stage interviewer for conventions. So I can say I got to know wonderful people like John Pertwee and Liz Sladen and all sorts of lovely people that I got to know and became friendly with.
That's cool.
That's
You're
really cool.
a fan.
Yeah,
and you
I'm
were
a
in
fan
it.
and I
Yeah.
was in it. So you can't say no if your agent rings up and says, "Do you want to be a giant slug?" You say, "Oh, yes."
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, that's great stuff. I mean, I was surprised when I got involved. Somebody said, once you've done Doctor Who, well, somebody quite comically said, "You'll never have to work again," or something like that. I was like, "What?" I said, "I think I will," but
Okay.
they did pay me to come down and sign some autographs for people. And
Yeah.
there are these kind of, I would call them, nerds, I believe is the correct term.
That's a bit rude.
No, it's not
fans.
rude. Fans, they're nerds. Nerds are fans. All right, Doctor Who fans. No offense to Doctor Who fans, by the way. People nerd out on all kinds of things. Some people nerd out on that. And they have these collections, right? And their goal is to get an autograph of every cast member from the show that they possibly can get hold of.
Yeah.
And so every new episode that comes out, if there's new characters, they make an attempt. It's like collecting baseball cards or something like that. So
True. And of course, that means that those of us who are in it 40 years ago, you've then got 40 years of new material
fans.
and new actors
yeah.
that go to signings. Us oldies tend to get overlooked now.
Yeah. I mean, I did mine years ago myself, and I was popular for a short period. But I do still get the occasional, I guess, new fan who's looking to fill their books and things like that. So I think it's just a fun thing to kind of do. Look for these actors and stuff. You did Red Dwarf as well. That's another.
Oh, now you see, that's another one for the conventions and the
I was going
signings.
to say that's
One episode back in 90-something, and under layers of latex, so nobody knew it was me.
right.
But it then turned out to be a real cult character that people loved that episode.
Oh, how fun.
Loved the scene. I got a letter from the producer afterwards saying, "Thank you for coming to play with us. And we've put you in the title sequence because you were so good."
Is that Beg Chief?
The Gelf Bride.
The Gelf Bride. Okay.
I had to marry Craig Charles and carry him off to my hut and try to make love to him, but he ran away.
I got to find a picture of this.
Gelf, Gelf.
Bride. Yeah, I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Layers of latex.
Yeah.
And
I can't. I need to find a bigger version.
yeah,
of
it was
that.
fantastic. So it was one of the most fun things I've ever done.
Wow.
That's
ugly as
great.
hell. That just.
Oh, are you just showing a picture?
I'm finding it now.
Are
There
you
it
going to
is.
share it?
Yeah, there it is. Is
Oh.
that you? Can you see it?
Can I see it? That is definitely an it.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Layers of latex and spots and things and,
Yeah.
and a made-up alien language, which we had to learn phonetically and have it correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. No kidding.
And
That's a
then
commitment from the writers. Love that.
oh, completely. Yeah. And what was lovely was when they did a reboot of the series on Dave channel
Right.
a few years back. They asked me back to come and do another such character, which was the Beg Chief.
Okay. So you did.
So Gelf's genetically engineered life form,
Yeah.
and Beg's the biologically engineered garbage guzzlers.
There it is. Is that you? Is that
So
it? Did I get it right, Steve?
no, that's not, because they had the character back in another episode, but they wanted to use my photograph that I had taken personally on screen, and I said, "No, will you pay me if you do?" And they then had the Gelfs back, but had someone else in the costume, so that's not me. No.
Oh, okay.
I see.
It's gonna have to find this.
Intrigue.
Did you know Mac? Did you ever?
No, never crossed paths. No.
Because we work with his daughters. I work with his daughters, who are both voice artists now.
Right.
And I've worked with him a couple times in voice in ADR sessions and stuff. So
Sure.
Red Dwarf for Jay doesn't have a clue what Red Dwarf is, do you, Jay?
I just looked it up. It looks like a sci-fi.
It's a science fiction comedy series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sitcom, set in space.
Looks great.
It's been around for donkeys.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well, yeah.
And I have heard it
96 or something.
I've heard of it. Like people have talked about it before.
Yeah, it's a cult. It's another cult.
Cult thing. Yeah.
For nerds. I mean fans. Okay, so this is all good stuff. I want to sort of let's get into a little bit of the depths of crossing over into, because I imagine at this point you sort of exclusively play Santa. Is that right?
No.
get other stuff?
It's only really from the mid-teens, 2013
Yeah, I mean,
onwards.
yeah, that's what I
Is
mean.
when the
These days.
Santa jobs really started coming in. And fine by me, happy to do so.
Yeah, well, it's very lucrative, I guess. And
It can be, although I'm from an era where 40 years ago, if you got a television commercial, you'd earn 30 grand.
right, yeah, you could buy a house with that. Yeah,
And these days you get 2 grand,
yeah,
Yeah,
which
no
is still
residuals.
fine, but it's,
yeah. I don't know how that happened either.
no,
It's a bit like, wait a minute.
exactly. But it did, and that's what it is. Occasionally there will be a foreign commercial, so you go abroad,
Right.
and that's a joy as
cool.
well, Going,
Where have
Yeah.
you gone? The Japanese need Santa Claus.
they
sometimes.
don't. No,
they
where
don't.
have I been? I mean, I've done commercials all over the world, but Santa ones, I have to think. Oh, Germany.
Yeah,
Did one in Germany. Did one in Italy.
it's Nicholas.
For T-Mobile.
Yeah. Now, talk us through the development of like the Santa Claus character. You obviously did Mrs. Brown's Boys, and you thought, okay, this worked, and you got people are recognizing, going, yeah, this guy nailed it. But
It's a real Santa.
yeah, but at that point, you must have said, okay, wait a minute, I gotta do a little research on this guy or something, right? I gotta work the voice, work the manners.
Well, okay. The voice comes naturally.
Yeah, you have a nice deep,
I
Beautiful.
have a nice voice, but
timbre.
when I'm where's my glasses?
But to say the kind of the
If I do this and say, hello, Todd. Oh, how are you today?
okay,
Then
thank you.
voice is natural.
Can I get a Nerf football?
No.
Oh, jeez.
And once you've got the costume on
Yeah.
and the
It
voice,
just happened.
Oh, you're saying
it
you sort
happens.
of embody.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror and you go,
It happens.
I am this.
Well,
makes sense.
That's it. There's no magic about it. You just,
Yeah, but I mean,
you have to sort of inhabit it as a character.
you do, yeah, of course.
I get very cross about.
Oh,
No,
naughty children.
Not at you.
Oh,
No.
oh, thank God.
That there are hundreds of thousands of people playing Santa out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
And, a young chap who'll stick a beard on and a pillow up the jumper.
Right.
It's not quite right.
Smell of gin and
And
cigarettes.
I'm very
and,
proprietorial about him
yeah.
because you are a child's sometimes first experience. And
So you're protective.
I am protective.
Yeah. Of the
And you
image.
want them to have had a wonderful time and have met Santa.
Yeah. Well, that's I
Not
guess.
someone with a beard with elastic,
Yeah. Sweating and reeking
just-
of.
And isn't embodying
whiskey.
the essence.
You've got to embody it. Absolutely right.
So you take it quite seriously, of course. I
I take
can
it
see that.
seriously.
But I think that's also because what's interesting about you is you're not just the typical like shopping mall Santa.
No.
You have cornered a bit of the market.
Yes,
It
and
must be
I
upsetting.
don't do shopping malls.
No. No.
Have you ever?
Early on when I set up my website and started taking bookings, I would do, private parties,
Corporate
companies,
events.
corporate events, which builds up the confidence and the experience.
Yeah.
And you just grow into it.
Yeah.
Really.
And you look like you're enjoying it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, there's no downside to playing Santa.
There is no
is there?
downside to playing Santa at all
Yeah.
because everyone is in
Everybody
a
loves.
great mood.
Yeah.
Yes, wholesome.
They're happy to see you.
They're happy to see you, and you're going to give them a present.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
What's
here to
the
bring
bad?
joy.
There is no
We're-
bad.
There's
Yeah.
no.
The twinkle in the eye.
Yeah, there's no bad at all.
But at what point did you sort of like, I guess, really slip into this guy? Was that the moment when the kid said,
Yeah.
that's the real Santa?
Well,
And
I mean,
you went, okay.
in that kind of around that year,
Yeah.
2013, 2014,
Yeah.
I had a costume made by my mother,
Nice.
who used to make costumes for plays. So, the look is right.
Yeah. Ah, your mother was a costumer. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I
You come from a lineage.
yeah, the belt I stole.
Oh, Santa.
Naughty.
No, it was my
Very
Little Woods advert commercial, and they said, "Do you want to take it?" I said, "I'll have that. Thank you very much."
Yeah, I'll take any Santa
Yeah,
accoutrement I
exactly.
can get my hands on. Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
So what's it like for you walking around when Steve Wickham's down there? Where are you living now? You're down in
I live in a place called Amersham.
Amersham, yes.
Amersham in Buckinghamshire.
So you're walking around, you're going to Tesco.
So going to Tesco's, and someone will say, "Oh, do you ever do Santa?"
Yeah,
I say, "Oh, yes, I do. Have my card."
nice. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah,
I'm available for parties.
exactly.
Yeah. You must get it all the time.
All the time. Oh, yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
known
but,
locally as just there
Yes,
he
but
is?
you can't turn around and say,
Bugger off. Yeah.
No, you can't.
No. Ooh.
That's not part of the gig.
No, that's why I wonder. It must be some
No.
pressure. It must be a little pressure. What's the
That's-
missus think of all this?
Oh, there isn't one.
Oh, good.
No, that's all right.
That's better. There's no Mrs. Claus?
There's no Mrs. Claus.
Oh, you need to team up, maybe. You need to team up with a. Do you have a little team, like a little?
Well, no, I do
is there
know
an
some
elf on
people.
call?
There are some people I could call on to be elves,
Right.
but the
Jay
people,
would be well up for it, wouldn't you, Jay?
Call me up.
Call him up. He's got the pointy ears and all.
Has he
make a
got
great elf.
tights?
I am a yes man. I do not
he's-
have tights, but I can
Okay.
acquire
He can
them.
get some. He can acquire him. He looks great in tights.
Okay.
Yes, Todd knows from
He
personal.
can borrow my hat.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I've got some people I can call on, but
Right.
generally speaking, the jobs that I get just want a Santa.
Yeah.
Right. So is this actually your busy time of year then, like November,
It is.
December? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the busiest.
A lot of parties.
Um,
Or is it? I mean, they're not
No.
shooting the commercials.
no,
and
they
the
tend to
things
be
now.
more corporate. Oh, there's something that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's this thing here.
I don't know. Something.
Corporate events.
Yeah.
I do a regular gig at the North Malden Steam Railway,
Okay. Oh, I know that one.
little
yeah.
miniature steam railway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
It's cute.
there, and people, as they come past
Yeah,
on their
but-
steam train.
So you have regular parties that you're doing every year.
Yes. I think I've got a booking for a company called Castle Air, which is a helicopter firm who want
Oh.
to do a promotional film.
Oh,
so
okay,
it
right, yeah.
could be fun.
Santa dropping toys
Interesting.
off from his helicopter.
Something like that.
Oh, man, this thing's taking you everywhere.
You know, so
isn't it?
there's always something different and new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put the
Have
same
you
thing in
upset the
different
other Santas? Is there like is there a union?
No, there isn't a
Or
union.
a
There's
group?
there's a Facebook group,
Right.
a couple of sort of Facebook groups that I belong to. There is a wonderful Santa called Nigel Harvey who sort of cornered the market of Santas doing talk show appearances.
Okay.
So he'll be on This Morning or
Right.
that kind of thing. a
Oh,
lot.
they're calling him in.
Yes,
I see.
but he looks magnificent.
Better than you.
Well, I'm not going to say fake, but
He's got the full.
he's
I
got
see.
he
He's
looks
got a good,
fantastic.
high quality
Yeah, yeah,
fake beard that he puts on.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's not
So
gonna
there
be
are some
fun.
of us out there who are kind of, on the circuit of
Yeah. And
ones
Santa.
to go to.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few. What's the top 5 Santas in the UK? Is
Well,
there
I
such
don't
a
know. I wouldn't know. But
I'm just wondering how it works.
yeah,
I think in the States there would be, wouldn't there, Jay? There'd be like a group.
A Santa
sort of-
call list, depending on.
Yeah,
what
you would
the
have to
region-
join like a proper membership, probably. I'm only guessing, but like,
No, I
are you
don't know.
officially registered with the Santa Coalition?
official Santa?
U.S. Yeah,
No,
Santa
there-
Coalition.
No, there isn't.
Nothing like that.
Nothing.
Oh, man, we'll
no,
create
no,
one.
No.
And if you don't belong to that, then you're not identified as stamped officially Santa.
This
No,
is
but
a
then,
Todd.
but then
project.
anyone can put an advert on the internet and say,
Of course. No, but
Santa for hire.
you have now established yourself as
But I do have credentials and I have
correct,
experience.
yes,
Exactly.
yeah. And the look.
And the
the
look
kit.
and the professional actor experience.
That's right. Yeah. So, what are some of your fondest memories? Like engaging with the kids and things. There must be a lot of little magical moments.
Oh well, they all are.
Maybe some horrible moments.
Well,
getting candy canes
you-
stuck in your beard.
you get the you get the screaming
right.
children.
Adult. Oh, okay.
And we try to avoid that because
Are they
the
scared?
internet is littered if you search for
Oh, child
children
goes crazy.
children crying meeting Santa photographs, and we've all got them
All right.
because it's a creepy old man with a stuck-on beard.
Sweating. and
from the
smelling
70s.
like gin and cigarettes.
And then the-
Exactly. So
I remember.
you do get some crying ones. The little ones can cry,
Yeah.
but the children who come in and their eyes light up,
Yeah.
then that makes the day.
Yeah.
I've done heartbreaking jobs. I gave my services to the Grenfell Tower community Christmas party that year.
Oh my gosh. Grenfell Tower, for those that don't know, is a kind of a tragedy here in the
Big
UK.
tragedy.
Well, not kind of tragedy. It's a tragedy that many
That tower
died in.
block that burnt down and many people died.
We're trapped.
75, something like that.
Yes, and were trapped inside because they were told to stay put.
Yeah, as the cladding was burning. So that's a
As the
big-
cladding burnt the place down. So they had a Christmas party that year, and it was the amount of presents that had been donated was extraordinary.
Right.
And people just kept coming, and I was there for about 6 hours just doing it because I couldn't stop.
Yeah. Wow. It must be
Wow.
exhausting to be Santa.
Oh, it can be.
Yeah.
I mean, generally you're sitting down.
Right, right. But keeping up the ho, ho, ho. Give us a ho, ho, ho. You got a good one?
Ho, ho, ho.
Ooh, jolly good.
But it can be exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've got to put on the cheer and you've got to be,
Yeah.
you're in the spotlight there. How long do you normally do a Santa gig? An hour, 2 hours?
It's an hour or 2 hours
Yeah.
with a break, and then perhaps another hour or 2 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Filming commercials, which you've shown earlier on, can be,
A day
a
or
14-hour day.
Yeah. Yeah. In the costume.
Exactly. But that's going into an actor's mindset rather than a Santa's mindset.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're an actor playing Santa.
You turn it on when they
Yeah,
say
rather
action.
than
Yeah.
being at this party and being Santa.
Yeah. And that's a cute little movie, that Click and Collect. I watched that a couple
Oh,
of
it's a
years
sweet
back.
little film. Yeah, yeah.
And there you're sort of doing a Santa that
but
isn't
but
Santa.
he wasn't Santa. He was just a mysterious person.
Yeah.
But was he?
Right, right. That's a bit different. That must have been
Yeah,
fun.
that was nice. That was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, that was a 15-hour day at 5 o'clock in the morning
Right.
at some motorway service
Yeah,
station.
yeah. Roadside petrol.
Having been there since 1 o'clock in the
call
afternoon.
time is, yeah. Yeah. You fall asleep in the trailer and then they pull you out and they go, "Okay, we're ready for you, Steve."
Yeah.
Yeah, I go, I got to put the twinkle in my eye. Here we go.
I know, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I don't know about you, but you can know when you go into a casting, if one ever gets a casting these days rather than a self-tape,
Right.
if you've got the job. You
Yeah.
can kind of know.
You know, kind of, yeah, you do.
If you get the reaction and the director likes you and smiles and laughs and you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
That job I knew I'd got straight away.
Right. Was it more like an interview? They don't need to
Yeah.
like have you come in and do Santa. It's
No,
like
no,
they
no.
just need
Well,
to
I mean,
meet
that was
you.
just reading that particular northern character part.
Right. Yeah.
You just know. So that was a good one. Yeah, enjoyed that very much.
Are you getting any more other kind of roles?
Um,
Or is it all Santa?
it's all Santa really now.
Yeah.
There do tend to be castings for other things,
Right.
but it's all self-tapes and I'm rubbish at them.
I know the feeling.
Oh.
I can't do it. I mean,
What's the problem?
I don't know.
The
You're
lighting?
great on camera.
No, it's
Great
not
on
the lighting. It's the you
Just
have
reading to
You've
yourself.
got to read it to yourself, and there's no one to do the lines, and
I know.
and
I can't book.
you've got to stand up. And I have got a small flat, so you sort of stand up and get this much of you.
Right. And they want a full body shot, and you're like, I don't, and against a blank wall, and you go, I
and-
don't have all that.
stuff. I can't be bothered.
No, it's terrible.
I'm getting less and less bothered these days.
I like the
don't know about
convenience
you.
of it, but I've done tons and I don't get anywhere with it. I'm like you. I'm better in the room.
I'm better in the room.
Yeah.
I can come in and go hello and be in the room and give it.
To meet people and
Yeah.
have a chat.
Although I'm always impressed by the Hugh Laurie House story. You
What's
know
that
how he
one?
got House?
No.
He did a self-tape just as he was going off on holiday, so he quickly filmed something in the bathroom looking all dishevelled and sent it off, and that got him the job.
Very house. That is
You know?
very
Very
house.
house, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also Hugh Laurie. He already had
Yeah, I
quite the
know.
reputation,
Yeah,
so
but-
it was just more like, can he do this little bit? And,
You know.
Yeah.
So I've never got anything from a self-tape.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's,
yeah.
could you do a self-tape, Steve?
Oh, I know. We have the same agent, by the way.
We do have the same agent. by the way.
Mandy Perryman.
Who you interviewed?
You have interviewed.
Lovely
Yes.
Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy. So yeah, I almost get to the point where, whereas most actors get excited when they go, she goes, "I've got a self tape for you." I go,
Oh no.
it's like, 3 hours of
3
misery,
hours. Oh, I know.
pain and anguish just to ship it off, and then you don't know. What
And then
happens to it.
hearing nothing again.
Hearing nothing
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, you go, that's my day going. Yeah. No, we're trying. We got to do something about some of that. I work very closely with equity, and there is a lot of pact agreements and things that are coming down the pike, and education of, but even just the union, the representatives in our union, and then with the producers and the casting directors who have not up until this point understood the kind of pressure that is being put on actors to produce these things with no time, no adequate time, turn around and get it on at 5 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
like,
We
you have
want
this
it tomorrow at
yeah,
midday.
Yeah. And you,
Yeah.
or you get it on Friday, you get it last minute. And then also that you have to read pages and pages of dialogue, and you need to find somebody, and you need to hire your own studio or get somebody to work, and it's just not, it's not feasible.
No.
So they are making more strict agreements. So hopefully things will change in the near future. But, we'll see. We'll see.
It's
We
interesting.
will,
hearing-
but I don't hold out a lot of hope for that. I
Well,
think
if
we're
it-
stuck with it.
If it becomes, we're stuck with self-tapes, which, to one degree it's okay. I don't have to schlep all the way into London, which is great because I've done that before. Gone all the way in, 15 minutes in Soho, out the door you
you're-
go, back to the train station and back home. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do it. It's a 3-hour turnaround. And then you go, well, the director wasn't even there or something.
But I wouldn't mind that if it was a nice TV part.
If it was something bigger,
But
and
if it's one of, 400 for the
yeah,
same commercial,
right. And they're just some intern is in there like pressing record on
Yeah.
it and just
Yeah.
getting you on tape. It's like, no. I want to get in the room where they want me.
yes.
They've seen
And
my
you
show
are
reel.
wanting to there being an actor.
Yeah. And I've got the stuff in front of me, and I'm coming into the room, and they
Yes.
are looking very seriously at me going, okay.
Yes.
And maybe I'm I don't care if I'm even one of 15.
No.
If they've narrowed it down, but that to take it that I'm a serious candidate. And then if I blow it, it's on me. But these self-tapes, you don't know. There could be 50. They don't even look at them.
No.
They just scroll through, and we're going to have a guest on soon that's calls it well, by the time this airs, actually, he might already be on the show, but the Tinderization, he coined the phrase, the Tinderization of self-tape castings, which is...
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's swipe.
I mean, it's like, well, but
Oh,
it's
it
like,
is. Yeah,
Online dating.
press play that one. No, don't like it. Move on.
Yeah, or don't even press play. Look at his, look at the
Whatever.
headshot, and then
Yeah.
go, no. Oh, that one looks like the one in my head, And you don't even have an opportunity then to change their mind about, well, we wanted someone tall and slim and black hair, and they get someone short and with brown hair, and they go, no, he doesn't look like the thing.
But
Well,
after my first agent, I then moved to a cooperative agency
oh yeah,
where we all did it ourselves.
yeah, that's interesting.
And those days, you got castings through on a sheet every week,
Yeah,
and the agents would ring up and say, well, how about such and such? How about such and such? And then, no, we're looking for that. Oh, have you thought of so and so? And agents would do that business between themselves and the casters. And you could suggest people, but these days it's all spotlight. It's all that picture. No, move on.
it's Tinderization. It's based
Yeah.
on the picture first and
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah.
And not can he play the role and maybe change my mind about what the role even is.
Well, this is it. And, we're looking for a lawyer. Well, how about Stephen? Oh, no, he's wrong. But just see him.
Right.
He can play a lawyer.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't he?
Maybe he'll bring something different to the character. Yeah.
And you don't get that anymore.
No, you don't get that. No. They're not looking for actors. They're looking for sort of avatars.
Oh, don't even say that. AI.
Yeah, well, that's coming, isn't it? Coming down the pike. Soon you'll be replaced by an AI Santa.
Yes, I will. Well,
Ho, ho, ho. And he'll get it all wrong. He'll go, ha, ha, ho. And he'll go, no, Avatar.
well, I do a bit of that in that Experian advert where I got scammed. There's a little scene of him
Is
looking at an AI version, going ho ho ho.
Oh, man, I should have played the whole thing.
Creepy.
It's quite a long thing, so
Yeah,
don't worry
it's
about it.
funny. Yeah. So what's next for Stephen?
What's next? Well, some more jobs this Christmas, hopefully. We've got a few bookings already, which is nice.
Do you get free punch and eggnog?
If it's a day thing, then you'll get lunch, yes. I'll tell you what I was offered. Now, here's a job.
Okay.
I got an inquiry from an agent. Was I free to work Christmas Day?
Wow.
And I don't normally like working Christmas Day. That's family.
Yeah.
And it was, well, on Christmas Eve, you would fly out to this
Bahrain.
millionaire's
Abu
private
Dhabi.
private island in Mauritius
Nice.
Oh.
to entertain his guests on Christmas Day
Awesome.
and then fly back again. They were only offering like £300,
Oh, you're
What?
joking.
That is offensive.
and they wouldn't fly business class. So I said, no, I don't think so.
300.
Oh, I thought you were going to say private jet.
No,
300 quid
yeah,
to come out to Mauritius. You don't even
Yeah.
get to take a swim.
No.
You just fly out there like a
yeah, no,
economy.
no.
No, I was hoping you were going to be like
No.
some billionaire was going to
No.
like fly you out. Oh, well. Yeah. But it's coming. I think it might be coming.
Well,
Yeah. That's interesting.
yeah.
So many tidings to all the boys and girls out there.
Yes.
Checking your list, making a list and checking it twice.
Indeed. I'm just trying to think what I've got coming
You
up.
must get bored with all that stuff sometimes.
Well,
I mean, what is Santa?
Well-
What is Santa Claus doing in August?
well, Santa Claus in August is probably on a Greek island.
Nice.
But,
Yeah.
Yes.
well, no, it was June this year.
Flip flops.
Yeah,
And a Bermuda
it
shirt.
is flip-flops and
Hawaiian
feta
shirt.
cheese and a
Nice.
glass of Retsina.
Oh, where do you go in Greece? I like to go in Greece.
I have a favourite island called Egina,
Okay.
Huh.
tiny little island just out of the port of Athens, about an hour's boat. It's where all the Athenians go for their weekends.
Okay.
So it's not that.
Quiet.
It's
Touristy.
not that kind of touristy.
Right.
Yeah.
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 It's Greek.
Yeah.
Solid.
It's
Greek,
not
yeah.
Santorini.
No, it's not Santorini.
How long have you been going to that?
30 years.
Is that your? All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like a big.
Well, I'm
Grease.
going there for about 20 years, but Greece for 30
Grease, you go
years.
there. Yeah,
Mm.
I do like a bit of Grease, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I do have a random question.
Yeah.
Go on then.
I've
Is it-
been dying to ask for what, and you obviously don't have to answer. What is the secret to your beard? Because it is like actually amazing. Like, do you use oils? Do you have shampoo?
No,
Like
I just shampoo in the shower. But
that's it.
yeah, I do trim it. After Christmas, I cut it back. So every year it grows back.
Do you comb it? Do you put like a comb through it?
Well, I put a brush through it. Yeah, of
Okay,
course,
you do
know.
you brush it.
Got to.
Well,
brush,
I don't have a beard, so I don't know the
Jay's thinking
usual
about
beard
getting it.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I'm looking at it, and like the first time I saw you, my very first thought was that man's beard is so well taken care of. It looks so beautiful.
It's a big part.
How does he do it?
I've lost count of the number of ladies or makeup artists on a set who will say, "Oh, can I just have a touch?"
All right.
It
Just to
it
play it.
does. I am thinking that too. I'm like it just looks
Yeah.
so. It looks just well tamed, well made.
very well
so you
groomed. I mean,
brush
it's a-
it and you
it's-
shampoo it.
Oh, just in the shower. Yeah.
Beard maintenance with Jay. Jay's fast.
I mean, if you have kind of beard wax and things that you can buy, but that tends to make it go solid,
right.
and you end up with lumps.
Oh, you want it
So
fluffy.
I
if
just
anything.
leave it fluffy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Talking to a man that's a critical component to any Santa, right?
Well, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Occasional jobs have made me put wigs on
Yeah, I saw that.
under the hat.
Yeah. But I think a bald Santa.
Because
works.
I don't, that all went years ago
Yeah.
when the black disappeared.
Do you prefer Santa Claus, St. Nicholas? What's
Well,
the
now
preference?
that's a very good question.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know. I have always called him Father Christmas,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's very British. Yeah.
which is very British.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most people hire a Santa,
Yeah.
and children these days call him Santa.
Yeah, that's the American.
It's crept over.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like Halloween and the 4th of July.
So I go with Santa because the real Father Christmas is a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's Santa, and everyone says, "Oh, it's Santa."
Right.
So,
But you do no, I'm Father Christmas.
No, but then again,
Get it
you know,
right.
Babbo Natale in Italy
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Die Weihnachtsmann in Germany. I've been, they all have their own.
Yeah, there's every culture has
Of
its
course,
own.
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, the Pan, Schmirjak, or whatever it's the frozen man from the north. Yeah,
Whatever he's.
and the
yeah,
Finnish have
exactly,
a different version.
Exactly.
Yeah, would you do a Finnish version like in green robes and things?
Oh, I've done that.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Lapland.
A couple of years ago, I did a movie called Christmas on Mistletoe Farm
oh yeah,
on Netflix.
and
for
Mistletoe Farm was
Christmas on Mistletoe Farm. Debbie Issitt was the director who made Nativity
Oh yeah,
and all of those movies.
okay, yeah,
And it was her new
big
movie.
Christmas. Yeah.
Big Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's
A
on
lot of
Netflix.
kissing.
It's still there for those who wish to see it.
Yeah, Christmas on Mistletoe Farm. And so that was where did that take place up in Lapland?
It was filmed in Banbury,
Oh,
in
so-
Oxfordshire.
yeah.
And I played the town crier.
What? You didn't play
no, or was he?
Oh, right. I was like, wait a
Not
minute.
kind of giving things
Don't
away.
know. Spoiler
So it's a
alert.
Christmas film.
Yeah.
And for the town crier part of it, I had a green outfit. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, for those that don't know, a bit of trivia, I'm sure you know. Coca-Cola.
Is
Yes.
So
Indeed.
Coca-Cola, up until the 1900s, early 1900s. Jay, do you know this bit of trivia?
I don't know. You haven't said
Father Christmas, St. Nicholas, Santa Claus was usually dressed in green, like a kind of green velvet with a...
Like the man of the woods.
Yeah.
He was,
like the Green Man. He was
yes,
an archetype.
yes, very
yeah,
much.
like the German style. And then Coke wanted to use the Santa Claus image to sell more sugared beverage. sugary soft drinks, but Coca-Cola's colors were black, of course. I mean, it was rather red and white, of course. So they just dressed Santa in a red and white costume, and made him look like he was a Coca-Cola bottle, in essence, and that is what has stuck.
Yeah,
bit of Santa trivia for you. And so now
That's
we're all
why
stuck.
he's red.
That's why he's red and white these days. Yeah, so we're
Because of Coca-Cola.
Because of Coca-Cola.
So you go back to Victorian images,
Right.
and he is green,
Right.
Green.
wearing a green outfit.
Yeah, anything before pre-Coca-Cola, let's say, marketing. And those were the old metal signs, right, that they would have on the side of buildings and such.
Yeah.
And here I can show you. Here's an example or two here. Yeah. Here's a good example. Let's go to that one.
Yeah, you are, you see.
So now that's why we're all stuck with Santa. There he is in his red and white, just like the Coca-Cola.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting, Jay?
It is interesting.
Bet you didn't know. These are the kind of things you have to learn when you want to play Santa. You gonna play Santa someday, Jay? You might be in your future, another 50 years from now.
It could. If I really lean into my late grandfather's physique, he was a big and tall man.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you have to be to some degree, right?
To be Santa, I think so.
You wouldn't. What do you say, Steve? You wouldn't do padding, would you?
I don't need to.
No, you don't need to. But I mean, it's a bit of a cheat, isn't it?
It is a bit of a cheat.
Yeah. Right. To pad out.
Yeah.
And to fake beard.
It's a bit of a cheat.
Do you look down upon those that? I'm just kidding.
Well, it's yeah.
I think.
Let's just say there are ones who are more real out there.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Whom
Both of you.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you know how many reindeer there are?
There are officially 11, and then they added Rudolph. Is that correct?
No.
No. Okay.
There are officially
12.
8. Then they added Rudolph.
Oh, 8, and then they added Rudolph.
Yeah.
Who can name them all?
Who can name them all? Hands up.
I can name them all.
Go on then.
Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and
Blitzen.
Blitzen.
That's 8
But
plus.
do you recall? The most famous
Exactly.
reindeer of all. Ba-dum, boom, boom. And that's where I put on my nose.
That's where you put on your nose.
And I put on my reindeer. And then we got
That's it.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm a big Santa Claus fan. We had a lot of great little cartoons and things as a kid. And I remember, I'll leave you with this story. Yeah, the claymation stuff, and Santa was a big deal. Now, here's how Santa was ruined for me. And I made a mistake, Steve. Now you tell me what you think of this.
Okay.
Since you're the expert.
Okay.
And then we'll let you go. When my firstborn daughter was of age and was asking me, is Santa Claus real? I said, I first kind of said, well, not really. No.
Oh.
Like, he's made up. And then she kind of got this look on her face. And then I started shifting to, well, if you believe, then yes. And the reason I did that, now I know I sound like just a Grinch, like just, wow, way to crush a child.
Yeah.
But I got Christmas presents, I was about 7 years old, and all the presents under the tree and things. And then there was one present that just ended up on the television. And the televisions back then were these big pieces of furniture, essentially. And it was speaking of Star Wars, it was a radio-controlled R2-D2 unit that could, with a little radio control, and he could move around and his head would spin. It was beautiful, beautiful
cool.
thing. Yeah, I loved it. And it was unwrapped. It was just a bow stuck on it. And I went, oh my God. And it said, to Todd from Santa. And then I was like, well, I was a little disappointed he didn't wrap it, right?
That is
First
the
of all.
most Todd thing.
Yeah, I was like, well, this is a little cheap. Like, what's
Excuse
going
me,
on
Santa.
here?
You're
Yeah,
supposed to wrap.
Sorry, but do I not get wrapping? And then, lo and behold, I look on it, and guess what I found on the box?
The tag.
Price tag.
Yeah.
Price tag. And that's when my whole world started to collapse around me. And I said, hold up, everybody. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I stopped all the adults were at this point partying and having a good time. I stopped the whole show. I said, there's a price tag on this box. Why? And they went, and I go, yeah, because Santa is meant to do what? Make all his toys in the workshop, right? So why? And then the excuse I got was, well, he was probably a bit busy this year and had to buy.
He needed to go to Walmart.
He needed to go to, at that point, Kmart, I think it was, back in those days.
Okay.
You know, and he had J.C. Penney or something like that, and he had to buy it for
Sears.
$19.99. You know, and I was like, dubious at best. Like, this is, now we're getting to, right? I see the squinchy face you're making there, Steve. Terrible, right? Crushed. I realized. What did I realize at that point? Anyone?
You tell us.
I realized that my parents had been lying to me.
We're liars.
And not just my
Yeah.
parents, but all of society.
The world.
The world is lying. It's a fraud. And I was upset by that. Still am, slightly. And I just vowed
Fair.
that I didn't want my kids to think, I didn't want to be a liar to my kids. I didn't want my kids to ever think he lied. He lied about Santa. And if he's going to lie about Santa, what is the truth? What won't he lie about? So but with my second daughter, the question started coming, is Santa real? And I'm sticking to the, if you believe strong enough in your heart, then Santa will come. Same with the tooth fairy and all that crap. But I'm not going to be the one to go, And I'm definitely not going to be the one to go, oh yeah, Santa's real. Burp, burp, burp. I've seen him. I've met him. And he's been on my podcast.
Well, let me finish with a story then.
Please.
If we have the time. One of my regular bookings is a little primary school, nursery school in South London, where I got an email from the headmistress saying, our children are distraught because one of our teachers has told all the children that Santa wasn't real.
Oh, God.
And, you know, these are little ones, nursery school. They're 4 and 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah. And they've all gone home in tears. So
Yeah.
I went and did a visit. And I've been going ever since.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
about 7th year, I think I'm doing it this year.
To prove.
Yeah, you can't mess with heads. I mean, let them have that bit of magic.
There is a bit of magic in
You know?
it, yeah. And it's wonder. When does the kid figure it out?
Well, when they figure it out, they
Yeah,
figure it out.
It's
and
usually
that's
a
the age
friend
they
that
do
goes,
it.
is not
Yeah.
real. And then they have a big debate. I think there's about 2 years of debate. My 8-year-old now, she's 8, is kind of getting out of that. But there's been about 2 years of debate amongst her and her peers as to the legitimacy of a Santa Claus, of a Father Christmas in the world. And I'm not going to be the one to ruin that dream.
No, don't.
Yeah. And now I have the evidence.
Don't.
Because
You
he's
know,
been
yeah.
on the show.
I'm here.
He's here in the house,
I am here in your house,
he's-
spreading love.
spreading joy to all, and he's brought
Yes.
presents, and I can't wait to see what he's brought me.
Oh, I haven't brought you any presents. Damn.
Uh-huh. Oh, you're going to save it till Christmas Eve?
Yeah,
Come
that's
back?
right. That's right. I'll stuff it up your chimney. That's right.
If I stuff it up my chimney, if I hear a bunch of clanging on the roof.
Yeah.
It's you.
Well, Father Christmas, also known as Stephen Wickham. It's been a delight.
Although not Santy, as you said earlier. Never call me
Santa
that.
Claus.
No.
I like Santa Claus.
He says no.
No. That's
The
real.
man
That's
from
American.
the man from the North Pole says no.
Okay, you heard it here, folks. Mr.
Not
Claus is preferred, or Father Christmas.
Yes.
And if you want to be informal, just Santa. Yeah? Fair enough. We wish you the best. Have a Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas to everyone
Merry
watching.
Christmas.
Thank you so
It's been
much.
lovely meeting you both.
This is fun as heck. It's great.
Thank
And
you for coming
I think yeah, we've gotten to the bottom of this Santa Claus thing. There he goes, ladies and
There you go.
gentlemen.
All you need is your own beard and your own fat belly. There we go.
There we go. Can we get a happy Christmas for all until all good night?
Yes. Good night, all. And Merry Christmas.
No. I was expecting more
you.
gravitas. than
Were
that.
you? Oh, okay. Or okay. Hang on.
Yeah.
All right,
Give us a
hang on.
sound bite.
Give us a. Okay. All
Oh,
right.
here we go.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas, Santa. All right, hang out for a second, Steve. We're going to wrap it up. Wow, Jay. Look at that.
Oh, he really does transform when he puts on those glasses.
I know,
There's been a
just like
theme
I.
today. Glasses, just like you.
The
Yeah.
transformation of the glasses, yeah. How wonderful was it to have Santa Claus in the studio?
It's very good, and I liked. I really got a vibe from him about like what he was doing was of like an act of service, act of love,
Yeah.
of good vibes, and
Absolutely.
I like that a lot. Very positive.
Taking his kind of ability, the mantle, as it were, seriously. Well, no, for real, because
No,
if
I'm
you,
laughing at your sunglasses.
I know it's
can't
hard to take me
you
seriously. I'm trying to. I'm having a serious conversation, but I don't look serious, if you can tell, if you're watching this. Yeah, but I think there's. All right, I'll take them off. No, I like them on. I think there is something to be said for that. I agree with you 100%. Taking on the mantle of responsibility and saying, okay, if this is the thing that has been thrust upon me, and I'm playing Santa, then I have an opportunity. Not just to profit off of it, as it were, but I can also give and use it to bring actual joy and things to children, not to people who own their own island in Mauritius.
If you want to pay £300
dog
on Christmas Day,
right?
rude.
But to victims of the Grenfell disaster or children in schools and things like that, that's amazing. So if you're looking to hire Steve, check him out. He's at therealsanta.co.uk. That'll be in the show notes. He's available for all kinds of events and parties, and you will not find, in my feeling, Jay, back me up, a more authentic Father Christmas.
Honestly, the most authentic I've ever met in my life. That is
closest I've ever come. Closest
For
I've ever come.
sure.
I'm looking forward. Huh?
Yeah, not even the most authentic. It just is.
It just is, yeah. He just is.
He's the real Santa.
I'm looking forward to sitting on his lap later. He's promised me. Well, there it is. Everybody. He's over there shaking his head. He's like, no Santy and no sitting on my lap. Thanks for everybody for checking in on this Christmas special.
Yes.
We're wishing you blessings, Yule tidings, happy holidays, no matter what denomination you're from. And we'll see you next year on the Offstage Acting Podcast for a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
All right. We're going to get this. It's going to be the best episode ever.
Better be.
What is this? Bah humbug from
no presents for you.
Goodness. I think I deserve a little bit.
And I know where Todd lives.
I've been on the naughty list. I'm on the naughty list. Oh, no. Fine. Won't be the first time. It's not the first time I've been put on that list.